we go. Let me just set up the camera right there. Great. Well, welcome to weekly gathering called Sunday Morning Movement. I'm your host, Imran. We are BP Harmony, a place, a resource, a community for you to, or your loved one, recover from the acute phases of bipolar disorder. So today's practice is titled Yoga for Post-Episodic or Episode Guilt. So oftentimes when we fall into a state of imbalance and we either tip over into mania or into depression, we say things, we do things that are not representative of who we normally are, that are things that we wish we had the control to avoid, but we end up doing them. And especially in the case of mania, when we are easily angered, we make poor financial decisions, excessive spending, erratic decisions that impact the people in our life. Once we come back into a state of stability, there is a lot of guilt that we feel. And so there are 3 pieces of advice that I'd like to share today. The first is to communicate with those around you that you have bipolar disorder, and that when you are in a state of imbalance, when you are in a state of either high energy or excessive low energy, sorry about that. So 3 things. The first is to tell the people in your life that you are currently in a state of mania or depression. So it takes a great deal of mindfulness to detect when one is off balance, but it prevents a lot of harm when communicating to the people in your life. This could be the people at home, the people in your community, the people at work, and people at school, and anyone else that you might be interacting with on a regular basis, letting them know that, hey, I'm in a state of imbalance and I may be doing things that are not representative of who I am. That opens the door for empathy and understanding, and it opens the door for them to ask questions. Well, when you are in this state, what can I do to help? Or what can I do to prevent harm? And so number 1 is telling the people in your life when you are in a state of imbalance, so that if you do something rash, if you do something out of character, at least there is an audience that would be understanding. Number 2 is to be merciful with yourself. One of the things that I had to learn, coming from a background of high achievement, was to be okay with just not being myself. Many times I would feel extremely frustrated when I was not as sharp as I used to be because of the effects of medication. I would feel embarrassed when I would lose my sense of calm, when I would become easily angered or easily saddened or easily feel anxiety. I felt ashamed because I felt like I couldn't take care of myself and I didn't have a sense of control of who I am. And so the people, my mentors, and the advices that I read online, BP Hope Magazine is a fantastic resource, by the way. One of the salient themes is to have mercy for ourselves. You're going through a lot right now. You are learning how to operate in this new state of life. The people around you are learning how to operate around you. You're learning to identify what is your personality, what is symptom, what is the side effect of the medication, and it's a lot. So in that process, be merciful with yourself. And then third is to feel the third advice is to not fall into a state of hopelessness that you aren't making any progress. The thing about bipolar disorder is it might, you might have a day that's good, a second day that's good, and then the third day it's as if you have made no progress whatsoever. It's like your symptoms come back and you have an awful day. You are not so good to yourself, to the people around you. You aren't able to be productive. And this cycle repeats itself on a cadence that is unique to yourself, where you're making progress and then once a week you have a really bad day. Or every day there is a part of the day that is just really bad. And then there could be even a time, even for myself, where I just celebrated 1 year of being medication free, but there are still some days where I feel off. And to realize that it's not that I'm going back to where I was, because it's just a temporary return of the symptoms. And the way to understand that you have made progress is to realize that you are much more in tune with your cycles, with your how you're feeling. You have a lot more knowledge about food, about sleep, about exercise. You have anecdotal experience that you can offer yourself, like, hey, I've been here before and these are the things that I've done to help myself get better, and now you're in a place to advise others. So even when there is a return of symptoms, even acute symptoms, one of the things that I would feel a sense of despair about is like, oh no, not all over again. Oh no, not. It's like, no. You've been here before. You're wiser. You're stronger, and this is something that from past experience know is temporary. So those are three advices that I would like to share with you today if you're feeling a sense of guilt with a post-manic or a post-depressive period, which is one, tell the people around you what to do or what to say to help you kind of prevent harm in the time of imbalance. Number two is to be merciful with yourself, to have compassion for yourself. And then number three is to know that you are making daily progress, even though the physical symptoms might come in and out. So with that being said, let's get ready to do some movement. I mentioned today it's a cold, kind of cloudy, rainy day here in Austin, Texas, and it's been really cozy. I've been enjoying the shift in the weather. It was even the shift in the weather can be something that upsets the sleep and upsets. For me, it would trigger migraine pain. But there's still such a beauty in the transition of the weather, and something that I love to meditate on. So let's take a deep inhale and raise our arms up. Straighten our spine and bring our hands back down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Now, we're going to begin by identifying the chair of guilt in our body. There is a place in the body in which guilt lies, and we'll begin by just beginning a scan from the top of the body to the bottom of our toes, and simply observe without making judgment. So go ahead and bring your hands to your knees. I'm sitting in easy position today. where you have one leg in front of the other, but whatever is comfortable. Let's straighten our spine, broaden our chest, bring our hands down and our palms facing upward. We'll close our eyes. We take a deep inhale with our nose, 3-second inhale, 3-second exhale with the nose. Close our eyes, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Take your awareness to the crown of the head and see if guilt has found a place to reside within the body. For me, there is a certain place that I know guilt resides. But every time I practice, it could be somewhere slightly different. We take the awareness now to our forehead, our temple, our ears, our eyes, nose, jaw. Loosen the jaw. Come down to the throat. Swallow. Come down to our shoulder. Our chest. Our esophagus, our stomach, once you reach the navel, go ahead on your own, in your own pace, go down to your toes as slowly as possible. And breathe. If you found the station of guilt, that's great. If you didn't, or you haven't, that's okay. You've still practiced being in your body, being in the present moment, not worrying about the future or revising the past. If you want to take more time, you can pause the video, but we'll continue now with some movement. If in your practice, in this meditation, you are able to find the station of guilt, remedy this with the 3 advices that I gave earlier today, which is number 1, to tell the people, commit to telling the people after this practice, hey, there are times in my life where I get imbalanced. Heads up, I might do certain behaviors. This is how I am when I'm hypomanic or manic, and this is how I am when I'm depressive. And this way, there is an open communication and the door for empathy. Second is to be merciful with ourselves when we do make the mistakes, when we're in balance. And then third is to feel a sense of progress, even if it may not show to you or to the people around you. Know that you're making daily progress. So let's take a deep inhale. Twist to the left, exhale. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Let's go ahead and extend our feet into a 90-degree angle. And from here, I'm going to grab my left toe with my left hand. And from here, I'm going to raise my right arm up to the sky. Take a deep inhale. Look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale up. And exhale down. And from here, I'm going to stretch further. Point my right hand to the left wall. And I want to be able to look up. And my arm is going to be to the right of my view. Not here to the left, but to the right, really opening up the chest. And straighten. And I'm going to grab my right hand, take my right fingers and grab my right toe with my left hand, raise it up, look up, inhale, look down, exhale, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, and exhale down. Inhale, reach left towards the right wall, look up, and ensure that your left hand is to the left of your view, and breathe. And we come back up. From here, I'm going to bring my feet together to cobbler's pose. I'm going to open up my feet like a book, straighten the back, take a deep inhale, find the station of guilt, and exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and drop the weight of your neck. All 8 pounds. Create some traction in your cervical vertebra. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, forward fold further. Allow gravity to do the work, bringing your spine lower and lower to the ground. Inhale up. Go ahead and extend our feet forward. Today I'm going to try and extend my feet forward this way. Typically I look to the side, but maybe this will be a better way for you to see what I do. So again, we'll straighten our spine. Inhale with our hands up. And exhale with a straight back, forward fold. Here we're stretching our lower back, our hamstring muscles, our calf muscles. And if you can't reach the toes, go for the shin. If you can't grip the shin, go for your thighs, wherever you are in your flexibility. Sway side to side. Give your glutes a bit of a massage. Now inhale, and we're going to forward fold a little bit deeper where you're comfortably edgy but never painful. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. I've been doing a lot of running, about 3 to 4 miles daily, and feeling the fatigue, feeling the tightness. So this feels fantastic. I hope it does for you as well. We come back up. From here, we'll do some twisting. I'm going to switch over to this side. So go ahead. I'm going to raise our left foot. I'm going to cross the left foot over to the right side. My left hand behind me. Inhale up. Straighten the spine, and then I'm going to cross my elbow over to the left, twisting with my core, then with my shoulders, and finally with my neck. Untwist my neck, my shoulders, and my core. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cradle my foot into my elbows. So my left foot cradles into my right elbow, inner elbow, and then my left elbow cradles into my left knee. I'll crisscross my fingers, and from here, straighten my spine and kind of just rock it like a baby. This really opens up the hip. Remember to be merciful with yourself. Remember knowing that just be coming here today or watching the recording, you're making progress. You're making significant strides towards your healing, towards your recovery. And that slowly yet surely, and it could take a lot of courage, but to tell the people in your life, hey, I'm dealing with this temporary state of imbalance, and here's what you need to know. Okay, we'll let go of our leg, and now bring our right leg over to the left of our left knee, our hand behind our back. Inhale, raise our hand, and exhale, twist with the stomach, twist with our shoulder, and then look to the right. Look as far back as we can. We'll untwist our neck, untwist our shoulders and our abdomen. And now we'll do the same on the other side. I'm going to kind of look this way so that you have a better view. So I'm going to take my foot and place it in the crook of my elbow and my right elbow around my knee. Cross my fingers, and from here, straighten my back. And kind of just rock it like a baby, and you'll feel the hips right here slowly open up more and more as you generate heat, as we pump oxygen into these areas. Well, oxygen filled red blood cells with our breathing. Now that we've opened up our legs and our hips a little bit, let's fire up our core. I'm going to come onto the ground. I'm going to place my hands into the sky, up towards the ceiling. Then I'm going to raise my knees. And we're just going to hang out here. Now this is level 1. If you feel called for a bit more of a challenge, you can raise your feet up to the ceiling. You can bring your feet together. And this will really open up or fire up the abdomen muscles. It's okay if you're wobbling. That is okay. So level 1, hang out here. Level 2, we raise our feet. And breathe. Now I'm going to hug my knees onto my chest, wrap my arms around the knees, sort of just sway side to side, comforting myself for any feelings of guilt or shame about what I may have done in a state of instability. Can rock back and forth. Feel the massage on our spine. And we'll come down. We're going to continue to work to fire up our core. We'll extend our feet out. And from here, I'm going to grab hold of my knee, my right knee, and I'm going to bring it up to my chest. I'm just going to stir, make some circles. switch the rotation. If you were going clockwise, go counterclockwise. If you were going counterclockwise like I was, then switch over to a clockwise rotation. And now from here, I'm going to raise our leg, bring it back down. Raise our leg, bring it back down. If you want to intensify the stretch, we can put our foot again in the crook of our elbow, our left elbow, and do it this way, and you get a nice juicy hip opening stretch in your T-band muscle. Okay, you can do the same now with the other side. Extend our right foot, bring our left knee up to our chest, grab hold of your left knee, and make some circles, really bringing it in closer every time. Go ahead and switch the rotation, rotate the other way. And from here, I'll raise my right foot up to the sky, bring it back down, raise it up, bring it back down, up, and down. If you want a juicier stretch, you can bring your left foot into the crook of your right elbow, and then your left elbow goes around and grab hold of your feet, of your hands. And from here, you raise your feet up and down, up and down, up, down, up, and down, and down. Really let gravity just do its work, opening up the hip. I'm going to let go of my feet, bring my feet together. Now with my hands, I'm going to extend them outward or downward and make sure that I can touch them, touch the back of my heels with them. And now from here, we're going to do bridge pose. Bridge pose, again, this will activate our glute muscles, my hamstrings, and my abdominal muscles, my quadriceps. So it's great for firing up the core and opening up the chest. So what I'm going to do is with my hands, I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm going to tuck in my shoulders and try to touch my shoulders together. And from here, I'm going to raise my hips. and come back down. Raise my hips again. Really squeeze the glute muscles and breathe. Come back down. And one last time, once we come up, we'll stay there for a good 3 breaths. 5-second inhales, 5-second exhales. Inhale up. And come back down. Now from here, I'm going to widen my feet. I'm going to sit in a different angle today so you can see that I will widen my feet broader than my hips. Now with my elbows, or with my hands, I'll grab my elbows and I'm going to send my knees over to the right and my elbows over to the left, and then I'm going to look to the right. Then I'm going to come back to the center, look up, elbows up, and knees up, and then send my knees over to the left, my elbows to the right, and I'll look over to the left. Inhale, and then exhale. Inhale up, and exhale. Inhale up, and exhale. Back to the center. And from here, we're going to roll ourselves back up. I'm going to get into plank pose. I'm going to get into plank pose here. From here, shift our hips back into downward facing dog. Pedal our knees. My calves are really tight today. Sorry all that running, but this just feels fantastic. For your alignment notes today, make sure, pretend like there's a stick that goes through your biceps, through your ears, and through the other bicep. And you're trying to create a triangular shape. So we're going to inhale plank, exhale chaturanga, inhale up dog. Even in this pose, our neck should be loose. We don't want to be down like this, our neck's tight. Kind of opening up the stomach muscles. And exhale, downward facing dog. So it's your choice to hang out here in a wide-legged downward facing dog, or we can do 2 more of this vinyasa flow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead, come down on our knees into tabletop position. And from here, we'll do some cat-cows. So I'm going to bring my feet, tops of my feet facing the ground. I'm going to raise my tailbone, drop my stomach, raise my chest, and look up. Drop my tailbone, raise my spine upwards and look down. Inhale, cow. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We'll come on our knees. And with that, we come to our final meditation for the morning. So go ahead and come into a comfortable seating position or lying down position. Now from here, let's close our eyes and observe the difference between our body in the beginning and our body now. For me, I'm noticing more oxygen, more heat, more mobility in my muscles, more blood flowing. Take a second to scan the body. Take a second to visit the station of guilt. Consider mercy for yourself. Consider telling the people in your life what you're going through, what it actually feels like. Consider patting yourself on the back for the tremendous progress that you make in your daily efforts. Take a deep inhale with the nose, inflate the belly, and exhale, deflate the belly. Inhale, inflate the belly. And exhale, deflate. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take our awareness to 3 points of the body that are making contact with our shirt. see how long you can make space for these 3 points of contact. And if you're bombarded about thoughts about the past or the future, that's okay. Or even imaginary thoughts. Let them wash over like the waves of the ocean and reel yourself back to the meditation. Straighten the spine, broaden the shoulders, relieve tension from the neck, and breathe. Take your awareness to the eyebrows. And if we are furling our eyebrow, or is there any tension therein, just relax it, let go, and to breathe. Take our awareness to the darkness in front of our eyes. Notice the colors, the blacks, the orange, greens. Continue to inflate the belly with the nose, deflate with the nose. Take your awareness to the nose and notice the air going in and out of your nostrils. Is the air cool or warm? Is it dry or moist? Take your awareness to your ears and pay attention to the closest sound that you can hear besides my voice. What is the closest sound you can hear? Now, assuming you're doing this practice indoors, what is the farthest sound you can hear inside of the room that you're in? What is the farthest sound you can hear in your building, whether it's your apartment, your house, an office building? What is the farthest sound you can hear in the space that you are indoors? Take your awareness to outside the building and see if you can hear anything outside. From here, reel it back in, back to your building, back to your room, and back to the closest sound. And now listen with just your left ear. Now listen with just your right ear. And breathe. Continue to inflate the belly and deflate. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, arrive back, open your eyes. If you're lying down, turn over to the right side and push up with your left hand. Well, thank you so much for joining me this Sunday morning. The title of our practice today was Yoga for Post-Episodic Guilt, and my advice after dealing with the ups or downs and not only recovering from that, from also recovering from the guilt and the shame of our actions during those periods of instability. I've offered 3 advices. The first is to tell the people in your life that you're feeling a state of imbalance and that these are the behaviors you can expect, or to tell them before it happens so that they're aware and that they can help you identify faster than you might be able to see if you might be in a state of imbalance. This opens the door for empathy and support, because often bipolar can feel like a very lonely experience. The second is to have mercy for ourselves. We may not perform the way we used to. We may not be able to think as clearly as we were used to. We may become emotional very easily and not able to handle our emotions the way we used to. And to realize that this is a beast of a mental health condition. It's not easy. and it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of work, and there are many failures as well. But it is something that when you give the antidote of mercy, of self love to yourself, um, it's a tremendous way to get out of that guilt mode. And then, third, is to realize that with all the efforts that you're making, and despite that, still falling into states of mania or hypomania or depression and all of everything in between, to not lose a sense of a progress. You are making progress, you are on your way, and to remember these three advices as you get out of this mental rut of guilt and shame afterwards. So thank you so much. My name is Imran. I am the founder and host of Bipolar Harmony. You can check us out at bpharmony.com. I've got some pre-recorded classes. I've written a book called The 5 Pillars of Bipolar Recovery, where I talk about my own experience with bipolar disorder, or getting the diagnosis of bipolar disorder, and building a system for myself which is built upon sleep, nutrition, movement, mindfulness, and community. And with these 5, I enjoy good health today. I'm no longer on medication, and I don't identify with the diagnosis. But it's still a useful framework for understanding why I might be feeling off. And in the book, I offer really practical tips on a holistic path towards recovery. So if this is something that interests you, please visit my website, bpharmony.com. If you like what you see, you can also sign up to work one-on-one with me, either in person in Austin, Texas, or online. If you're a health clinic, I'm happy to set up webinars or to come and do a retreat at your health center. This is something that I do. So if these are things that interest you, that would add to the medication and psychotherapy that you or your patient or your loved one is going through, please reach out. My email is on the website, info@bpharmony.com. So hoping to get in touch with you, and thank you for joining today.